After the announcement that Eskom will be leasing land to 4 independent power producers in Mpumalanga, experts say obtaining funding for such projects is not necessarily the challenge, but rather low-cost funding would be hard to obtain. For more on this, we are joined by an energy expert, Aldworth Mbalati. Mr. Mbalati, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Let's begin by looking at what you believe will be the role that independent power producers need to play amid this crisis that we are facing with regards to energy in the country.
Thank you very much. I mean, it is common cause to understand that private sector is efficient in capital allocation, meaning that they will bring the best value for money and make sure that they expedite projects to come on stream on time, which is highly important, and making sure that your tariff doesn't go sky high. It remains much more affordable. So the role of IPPs are very important in our economy because it opens up doors for not using government money, but using private capital to solve the big challenge that we have, which is energy growth.
Speaking about that challenge, let's just unpack it a little bit. I mean, Eskom needs 53 gigawatts of energy to the grid by 2030, or else we will face a complete blackout. And solar and wind only provide us a 20% generation capacity, meaning that we can only rely on it 20% of the time. What capacity is provided, or how much of a reliance can we have in liquefied gas?
You know, LNG, which is liquefied natural gas, plays a very big role. So let me paint a simple picture for you. Wind blows at a certain time of the day, and the sun is out at a certain time, right? What happens is that gas comes in to fill in those roles of saying that when wind is not blowing, I'll be up. When the sun is not up, gas will come in, and it gives us what we call a base load capacity. So when you marry those technologies together, you end up having a scenario of having base load, which an industrialized nation needs. I mean, for example, you don't want to go to an ATM and your ATM is not working because the sun is not out. So
right.
It plays a very important role as a stabilizer of the grid. It plays as an important role as a feeler when other renewable technologies are not coming on stream. So it is a very important one.
So do you believe that having a mixed energy system with using solar, wind, liquefied gas, and a little bit of coal could get us out of the crisis that we're in?
Without a shadow of doubt, because nothing gives you 100%. But together combined, they give you the 100% solution that you want. That is why it's called an energy mix. I mean, you don't just eat rice alone. You eat rice with something else, or you eat your starch with your veggies.
Right.
So you need that in order to have a full balanced meal. So the grid needs to have something in order for it to make sure that it is always on tip-top condition.
So in ensuring that we do then get this balanced meal, I mean, Eskom has signed lease agreements with 4 international independent power producers to use the land around Majuba as well as Tutuka power stations for this mixed energy that we would certainly need in the near future. So local power producers seem to be sidelined in getting some of these. What's your take on ensuring that more local power producers such as yourself are included in this mix?
Look, it is a function of not letting ourselves down, being hungry enough to go out for these opportunities. I believe that as an industrial player, it is always fair game. Always look at a party that is going to come and give you the best value for money. Those who made the decisions, if they believe that the parties that were selected were the best value for money individuals and are conforming to our transformation laws in this country, then I would be satisfied. I would stand behind them. So I am for pro-growth, pro-energy. What I do know is that with more energy, it means that my people can be employed. It means that we can have an economy that is much more functional. It means that government can collect more tax revenues. So I'm for pro-energy growth.
Should we not, though, still in that process be cautious about how we have interdependence on international companies that will come into the fore and be able to provide such? I mean, the Institute for Economic Justice has criticized, saying that many of these deals rely on utilizing funds to de-risk for private sector of these international companies by blending public financing for them to be able to start up.
Look, as I say, let's all stand up, let's get into the industry, and let's participate. It is not an issue, it's not a misnomer for black people, or South Africans rather, to be part of this industry. We've done well as DNG, we are a 100% black-owned entity, we do our part. It is not easy. It is never easy in terms of growing a sustainable business, but we play in the space, and we make an impact in the space, and we make sure that transformation happens. So I would make a clarion call on other entrepreneurs out there to say that we have a crisis, and business is all about solving issues that our humanity face. And if we do that, then it would bode well for all of us. So I can say that let them come in.
All right. Certainly what we do need is power and a good mix, like you mentioned. So bringing in as many parties into the fore and making sure that everyone works together could certainly get South Africa out of this crisis. We have run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Mr. Mbalati, who is an energy expert. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.